Today we are standing by a drain that's called the Sutherland-Oemig Drain. You don't have to remember that, but all these drains have their own names. And they were all old agricultural drains way, way back in the day. And of course, a lot of development has happened and the topography has changed dramatically over the years. But this particular drain, we are on, this is 23 Mile Road here. You see all the traffic right behind us. We are pretty much immediately east of I-94. We're at a nursery called Meldrum Brothers, if you're familiar with the area. So this drain runs all the way on the other side, actually, of I-94, on the west side of I-94, and then runs up there. That's the upstream area of this drain. And there's a huge retention pond over there where there's a lot of subdivisions and condominiums, etc. And the ponds have become completely overgrown with phragmites. If you're familiar with those are invasive species that really stop the ability to have flow, free flow, through our drains. So we cut all those down and we just treated them this fall. We'll have to come back and treat them again because it's a several step process to try to keep them under control there. And now we're working our way back up, sort of back up now up to I-94. So what you see happening right here, you can see the difference in the, the elevation of what we've actually taken out of here. We just started this about a week or so ago. I think they're about 90, 100 feet already into this box culvert. This box culvert, of course, is owned by the Michigan Department of Transportation, MDOT. We're working closely with them, and we're cleaning all this sedimentation out of here. This sedimentation was like a wall. I mean, a wall. And, you know, it's all mucked in there. There's a lot of debris, concrete debris, all kinds of things that have happened over many, many years. And so we're getting all of this mucked out, all of this cleaned out of here. And then once we're on the other side of 23 Mile, we're going to move this contractor that we've hired to get to vector out all of this sedimentation. Doach, who does a lot of work for us. They're great. They're a Macomb County firm, but they go all over the nation. They're fabulous. Anyway, we have them. There's a manhole on the other side of 23 Mile. They'll be able to move their trucks there. Then they have to actually muck this thing out. There's an auto dealership on the other side. There's a box culvert that's enclosed, that was enclosed, you know, many, many years ago, decades ago. And it runs under their parking lot, but it is our drain. And that looks like this. It's about 2/3 full of sedimentation. So we need to clean all of that out. And then as it runs here, then you can understand how we're saying. So the pond has all been cleaned out. Then that's going to be all cleared out. Underneath 23 Mile Road is going to be cleared out. And then as we go this way, if I can have my videographer turn this camera here a bit, we're going to be going back down all the way. This drain runs way down here, downstream, through Meldrum Brothers. And again, over the years, there's been a lot of encroachment on our drain here, and we've worked very closely with the property owners here, and they've been great, and they are going to help clean all of this out. Things that have happened, just, you know, has evolved over the years. You got a lot of concrete block in there. You have different kinds of obstructions, and we just need to make sure that this can really run free. And I'm joined now with Brad Kirsten, who is the supervisor of Chesterfield Township, and he will be able to tell you what this area has experienced over several really heavy rainfalls and what has happened and why we're all very interested in getting this project done. Brad?
Thank you, Commissioner Miller. And again, as you pointed out, these drains, there's several of them through Chesterfield Township. A couple of years ago, we experienced some very heavy rainfalls, isolated and localized in this area. And what we realized is the detention ponds that we're responsible for within our subdivision and our community, they all lead into these county drain networks. So along with managing and maintaining and cleaning up some of the detention ponds that we have, the county drain system became problematic. This is where the water flows into. And as you can see, as you've pointed out, the sediment, it's 5 to 6 feet alone that are in these drains, and then the restricted bottlenecks that's created through the network that all leads to Lake St. Clair. So yeah, a great partnership, engaging you right off the bat. having that conversation and coming out here and then identifying the areas. This is just one of many that you've engaged in. This is a big drain, and it just cleaning it out and maintaining it and getting back to some sort of original specifications to where the water can flow towards the lake. It's been a huge help to Chesterfield Township. Us personally helps our residents. A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people don't know the entire network, and educating our residents on how this system works has been key to us. But again, getting back to this drain here, this was one of the major concerns that we had. We've engaged you right off the bat, and obviously it's a project. It's a task that needs to be done, and we're more than appreciative for what you're doing, and obviously widening and improving this network is a great help to our residents, not only here in Chesterfield but upstream. Yeah. Where the farmers fields flow to. So what a task. This is just looking at it, you'd have to come here and see it. What a task.
Yeah, we are probably going to be out here, I would say, for several months, really, before this is complete. And then actually down through the Meldrum property here, it could be, into the spring. I don't know. It is an enormous task, something that has, again, happened over many, many decades. But our department does work extremely closely with Chesterfield Township, with the supervisor, with the entire board. They really identify the kinds of projects that we want to get involved with and where we need to go. Because, we're all over the county. And as many of you know, most of these drains weren't touched for decades. And now we're everywhere, as much as we can be, with the staff that we have, with the resources we have. But we have a great partnership with our County Board of Commissioners to help us with financial resources, and then working with the local municipalities. We really try to make the available funds that we have go as far as we possibly can. So this is going to be a great project when it's done. I mean, I remember one of the rainfalls, 23 mile, I don't know if you had to close the road or what, but it was totally covered with water. Of course, it was like a biblical storm, but still, with whether it's climate change or whatever's happening, we're going to have more of those, and we have to position ourselves as stormwater managers to try to get ahead of all of these things and have a better posture. So thanks for joining us. You see this orange truck out here and some of these things going on in Chesterfield Township, you'll know what we're doing. Thanks.
Follow us on social media. For more information, explore our website, reach out via email, or connect through our toll-free hotline, 1-877-679-4337.